tonight's movie, Dario Argento's Giallo. As I said last week, this movie got a bad rap when it was released 3 years ago, and there was some legal trouble surrounding the production of the movie because Adrien Brody didn't get paid money. If you ask me, I don't think he deserved it, but I digress. Anyway, to be fair though, the movie really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. However, for all of you film buffs out there, the title is misleading. This movie has very little to do with Giallo movies, if anything at all. Oh, for all of those who don't know what I'm talking about, a Giallo movie is simply an Italian slasher film, and the killers always have black leather gloves, and there are supposed to be really big plot twists. Well, the reason why this movie is called Giallo is because Giallo in Italian means yellow. The name of the killer calls himself Yellow because he is, well, yellow. Because he contracted hepatitis when he was an infant, and it disfigured him. And because of that, little children made fun of him all the time he was growing up. Which is exactly why Giallo kidnaps beautiful women. And no, I'm not just saying that, like, that's his M.O., his modum operandi. He kidnaps beautiful women, okay? That's just part of the deal. I am not being chauvinistic. Anyway, he captures beautiful women. He takes them to his lair. There he tortures them, cuts off their lips, and then he kills them. His latest victim is a fashion model that he is keeping against her will. And time is running out for her. And time is running out for her sister, who is looking for her on the other side. But thankfully, and I use that word very loosely, thankfully, she gets the help of an Italian-American detective played by Adrien Brody. So, the pros of this movie. The cinematography is really good, actually. Classic Argento stuff. Good tracking shots, good killing scenes for the most part. The editing is good. The story was okay, but if you ask me, I felt like it could have been executed a lot better. And the look of the movie was interesting. I could tell that Argento shot the movie on film as opposed to digital, which is kind of misleading because you think that the movie will look differently from the movie poster, but totally different when you actually watch the movie. Having said all of that, I believe this movie made some very fatal flaws. For one thing, when I watched this movie, I thought, like so many film buffs, this movie was going to be a Giallo movie, a sort of homage to Argento's earlier work. And because it wasn't, it was a big disappointment. The killer's identity in this movie is hardly a secret. There really aren't any big plot twists, and there are no black leather gloves. And the thing with Giallo, he's really creepy. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel sorry for him, or I'm just supposed to be creeped out by him. And the exchange between the killer and the fashion model is just dreadful. The killer himself is just dreadful because he's just aggravating. I mean, the scene with him and the fashion model, it could be summed up in this little diatribe I'm about to show you. Beautiful. That's the killer. Oh no! You please let me go! Let me go, please! That's the fashion model. Beautiful. Please let me go! No! You're so sick! You're sick! Shut up! I cut your face. Oh no, my sister! She's going to kill you! She's going to kill you! Shut up! I'm not ugly. I make you beautiful. So that's the gist of it. And of course, the biggest fallacy of all, getting Adrien Brody to play the lead role. Really? What were the producers of this movie thinking? He was terrible! Terrible! He wasn't acting, he was doing his best to do a Michael Madsen impression. Michael Madsen is a great actor, but Michael Madsen has an act for doing a great job acting while being as subtle as possible. It doesn't work for Adrien Brody. Adrien Brody had one good movie in his entire career, and even in that one I couldn't stand him. He sold his family out to the Nazis. What a jerk! I'm of course talking about The Pianist, directed by Roman Polanski, but anyway. And on top of that, Gillette came out with a commercial with him and Andre 3000 and some tennis player, I think it was Roger Federer, I'm not sure. They called it the Masters of Style. Who in their right mind would consider Adrien Brody to be cool? But the biggest mistake about this movie is that Argento tried to make this movie exactly the same way he would have made a movie back in the 70s and the 80s. I think if this movie came out in the 70s or 80s, the reception would have been a little less harsh. Now granted, some film buffs may consider some of Argento's early work to be hokey or cheesy, but his early work had well-constructed plot lines and, well, genius, innovative film techniques. This movie, unfortunately, falls short of that. I just hope that if Argento continues to make films, he somehow recaptures the magic that he had back in the days of old. Well, that's all the time that I have. Be sure to join me next week for my review of Jugface. Until then, as far as things go, when things go bump in the night, there are such things